All right, let me just make sure that I'm live. All right, cool. I got nobody watching. Awesome. That's cool. It's all good, man. Hey, what can I say? It's 2018. It's a new year, new beginnings. So I wanted to try something different, do a new show. T-Man is first. What's up, T-Man? Joseph Stoner, what's up, man? Hey, Joseph Stoner, thanks for the reminder, man, because not that I had forgotten or anything, but I was like, golly, man, I'm so unprepared. But actually, shout out to Vernon Johnson. Vernon Johnson gave me the idea for this first episode, I guess, for Freestyle Fridays. And I thought it was a great idea. Fantastic idea. So I'm going to run with it. First, let me say I'm going to probably try to keep this at about an hour long, but we'll see how that goes. I can tend to ramble, as some of you guys must know. What's up, Catherine? Catherine in the house. Vernon Johnson gave you a shout out, bro. Thank you so much for the idea. But as people are kind of gathering on and coming on, let me go ahead and give a couple plugs because y'all know that's how I do. Let me share my screen. This should be fun. This is going to be fun. All right. So first, hey, you guys know I'm still doing the strictly pressing. I want to give shout outs to everybody who's been sending me books, man. Oh my God, dude, I've been pretty busy. Guys, I've been so busy. I've actually been thinking about buying a second press. Yeah, it's God, man, it's keeping me busier than I thought it would. Let's just say that. A lot of people out there want their books pressed. I've had some good compliments, and so it's been really good so far. So, but the thing is so many people are sending me books, and so many people want me to do stuff that I actually don't have a whole lot of time to do my own stuff, which kind of sucks because I got a lot of books that I want to get graded this year. But if anybody's interested, hit me up on Facebook at Strictly Comics. Also, check me out on Instagram. You're going to want to go here because I post a lot of things here. I typically use this, not typically, but I do use this for posting a lot of the books that I'm going to auction off in upcoming affordable auctions. Right now, it's just a platform. I'm just posting stuff, posting some pressing before and after results and stuff like that. So also I crossed 800 followers, which was awesome. Want to give a shout out and thanks to everybody who's currently following me on Instagram. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. One of the things I will say is it's just been great interacting with people in the community on Instagram. So thank you so much for for following me. I really, really appreciate it. Also, guys, check us out over on Thursdays at JLS Comics, 8:30 Eastern. It's myself with JLS Comics Jesse, EXILESTATE Comics Justin, and Boston Chris, who changes his channel from Buckshot 33 to Boston Chris, which I think was a good idea. So check us out over there if you guys are willing and able. All right, so that's it. Let me unshare my screen just for a minute, and then we're going to talk about the top 10 comic books for 2018. First of all, I want to ask the question: what is your top 10? Because my top 10, I'm pretty sure, is going to be completely different from everybody else. And it's just, this is the cool thing about this community, is like you just get different ideas and you see different things that you probably wouldn't have thought of. And let's just be honest, it's really hard to narrow down only 10. That's just me. There's been so much news and so much going on. Books are getting hot, books are staying stagnant, books get hot, books come down, It's just all over the place. So what is your top 10 books? Leave that in the comment section if you don't mind. I know it might be quite a bit to type up in the chat, but Captain Jenks, I'm shooting for March for my next affordable auction. I'm working with somebody who has a large inventory of books that I want to help sell and at the same time make some money for myself, because I do have some books, but I know typically when we have the affordable auctions, I like to auction off, like, I don't like to auction off junk. Let's just say that. I like to auction off keys, things that people are looking for, maybe some runs, lots, stuff like that. So I'm shooting for like March. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. I'm still not. It's penciled in, but it's not inked in. It's not written in stone yet. No, man, not this weekend, man. No. Let's just say this, guys. I put a lot of work into the affordable auctions, more work than you can think of. It's the reason the effort and the work that I put into it is the reason why my viewership has gone up with each affordable auction. I kind of go above and beyond. I do a lot of promoting. I actually spend about 4 to 6 hours the day of, and the day of, I spent about 4 hours promoting it and getting people's attentions. Plus, I do a lot of posting and a lot of notifying 2 to 4 days prior. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, guys, because I'm not like, look at Alex the Comic Hoarder. He's probably one of the hottest YouTubers out right now. He'll just do a live chat, live video on a whim, and he'll get 100 viewers, 50, 100 viewers just watching them. Hey, it is what it is, and I'm not able to accumulate that right away. So it's just been, I've just had to put more work into it than some other people. But hopefully March, we'll get back right into it. Vernon, I'm not reading Thanos series, man. Anything new? The new Thanos? No, I'm not reading that, man. Joseph Stoner says he knocked out 2 of his today with X-Men Days of Future Past. Congratulations, man. I got both of those. I was lucky to get both of those after the movie hype. And one of them was signed, and so but it wasn't slabbed, and so some people were kind of funny about it being signed, but no witnessing or anything like that. And so sometimes shops have a hard time moving books like that. I appreciate that, Captain Jenks. I really appreciate that. I do try to offer stuff to people that I think that they would want. Kat says she's bought 2 off of her top off of her top 10 from 2018. Batgirl number 12. Yo, that Batgirl, man. Hey, I seen somebody post on Facebook that Batgirl art number 12 art journal for $10. I was so upset. It sold in like 11 minutes or less. I forget who it was, man, but God, I was so upset because I have this guy. I have my post notifications for him turned on, and I guess I just wasn't fast enough. But man, that is cool. Batman 408. Yep. Yeah. I'll try to do what's best for me, Captain Jenks. Appreciate that. By the way, I like your logo, Captain Crunch. NLC, what's up, NLC? Shout out to NLC, man. NLC's always liking and commenting on my Instagram posts, man. I really appreciate that. Oh, Justin's in the house. Justin, you're more than welcome to come on if you want. No pressure, bro. It's totally up to you, man. I'm just kind of running with this. The Adam Hughes Batgirl, that's coming. Legendary Red Sun. Yeah. Yep. Man, our German is just hot. I think our German is hot. I mean, even if his stuff doesn't go up, man, his stuff is just stunningly ridiculous, man. I love his artwork. Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. Are you going to see a big rise? Captain Jenks, I don't know, man. I talked to ETA Nick about this, and one of the examples he gave me was that movie with Matt Damon called The Wall, The Great Wall, or whatever. It was based on, I guess, I guess on the building of the Great Wall of China. He said that movie was made by a Chinese production company, or Chinese. The Chinese are wanting to get their foot into Hollywood here, and they already have. And the thing about the Chinese and the Asian market that ETA Nick was telling me is that they like a lot of explosions, TNA, just like, for instance, people who hate, what's his name? The guy who made Armageddon. Was it Jerry Bruckheimer or I forget, but the guy who made Armageddon, and I think he also made like the Transformers films. Like, we, I guess, don't like that too much, but they love that over in the Chinese market. So ETA Nick was saying like they like a lot of that stuff, and because of that, they're wanting to get into the Chinese market, and the Chinese market are the ones who, if I'm not mistaken, Chinese market, Chinese production house is I forget the name of. Please forgive me. Are the ones that own or are working with the people at Valiant Comics to put out these movies. So ETA Nick was saying because of that, he doesn't think that they're going to put out very good movies, but it's all speculation, guys. So we will see. I don't know, man. I don't know if I have high hopes for Valiant movies. I really don't. Only time will tell. If Vin Diesel really does want to attach his name to it, that will definitely drive interest among people. If they can come to an agreement on a good deal and work something out, not only could it be good for the Valiant movie studio, if that's what you want to call it, going forward, but it could also be good for Valiant Comics, because let's just be honest. I mean, Valiant Comics, the Image is the top independent comic book publishing company. Valiant might be like 4 or 5 behind, Marvel, DC, Image, maybe Valiant. I don't know. But anyways, it could be good for comics, that's for sure. Yeah, the NLC, when I heard Jason David Frank was coming on, I thought that was a good fit, but for whatever reason he's not, so who knows. Congratulations, Lee CVN72. He says he had one book he wanted all year and he closed the deal. X-Men. No way, dude. You're not talking about the Jim Lee 1990-1991 X-Men, right? I think I know what you're talking about, man. If you close the deal on that book, man, congratulations. That is an awesome book to have. I got one myself, believe it. It's awesome. Vernon Johnson says he's got a Flash art journal variant that he's getting graded and going to sell. Congratulations, man. I don't even know what that Flash art journal looks like, man. I'd like to see that. It's definitely going to be the year for slabbing, that's for sure, at least for me. What's up, Iron Galactus? Iron Galactus in the house. Michael Bay, that's it. Michael Bay. Michael Bay, yeah. Captain Jank says he still thinks Marvel and DC are the front runners, but there will be another company, so it is either Image or one of the others. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marvel and DC will always be the front runners. I think at one point when Image first started, they surpassed DC. But it's definitely not like that anymore. So NLC says Jason David Frank says Bloodshot in a web series, not a movie. I didn't know that. I'd have to check that out. Those web series are kind of cool. I was watching what was it? Not The Walking Dead, but the Walking Dead web series. I forget what it's called. That was actually really, really good. Very good. Yeah, it's the year for slabbing. That's for sure, man. We're going to make that money. What's up, Jason Smith? Ain't you supposed to be working at the post office, man? Make sure, man. Hey, Jason, man, make sure our books get to where they got to be, bro. Don't be getting our stuff lost, man. I'm just saying, hey, just saying, all right? All right, so let's get right into this because I want to show you guys. I think a lot of you guys are going to agree with me when I discuss the top 10 books for 2018. One of the things I will say, most of these, if not all of these, all of these, I think, are based off of the TV and movie market. Now, let's just be honest, guys. This is a great era for comic books right now, and here's why. Back in the 90s, you had the speculation bubble. Of course, the death of Superman kicked all that off, right? And people just started buying. I've heard people bought as many as up to 10 copies of a particular book, thinking that they're going to put their kids through college with it, but it just didn't work out like that. And then, of course, comics really died down, man. Comics really took a hit We all know this because Marvel had to file bankruptcy because of it, and then started selling off all their properties. Golly, man. Ooh. Man, how things change when you start to go broke. But anyways, I'm bringing that up because the movies now are really driving the comic book market and comic book interest. Let's just be honest. When The Walking Dead has a new series out, comic book sales are up, I think, twice as much as they usually are when there is no Walking Dead on AMC. I mean, it is what it is. When Walking Dead is not on AMC, guys, I'm trying to tell you, comic sales take a dive. They really, really do. So this is just a great era for comic books because the movies are really driving the market. So me saying that is the reason why these books are going to be the top 10 comic books for 2018 are. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to share my screen. Let me make sure I got everything in order because I don't want to get ahead of myself. Yeah, let's do this. Let me check in the chat real quick just because I don't want to leave y'all hanging or anything. Yeah, Captain James, man, you're right, man. It is definitely a good era for comic books, that's for sure. Hey, Vernon Johnson, you ain't lying, man. All the 90s books are finally worth something. Nerd Vision in the house. What's up, Nerd Vision? Hey, Nerd Vision, I just want to say, man, I appreciate your Instagram having the same name and logo. Man, if you guys have the luxury of doing that, make all your social media logos and names the same, man. That because it's really hard for me to. Somebody was like hitting me up on Facebook Messenger about some pressing. I'm like, who is this? And he was like, oh, it's such and such, getting ready to open up a new comic shop here in Houston. I was like, oh, sorry, I different Facebook name, Messenger name compared to different Instagram, so it's just kind of confusing. Young blood. All right, cool. All right, so let's get right into this. Let's see, share my screen. I'm gonna kick it off right away. Top 10, number 10, if you guys can see this. Fun Comics number 73, or if you can't get that, I think that the best alternative would be Aquaman number 1. Why do I bring this up? Because it's the first appearance of Aquaman. I'm gonna let that soak in just for a minute because I got some tea I'm trying to sip on before it gets cold. All right, cool. All right, so we all know that we got the Aquaman movie that's supposed to come out toward the end of this year. As a matter of fact, if I am not mistaken, it is going to be the only DC movie that will be coming out in 2018. Now, the thing about this book is Fun Comics number 73 will probably be very, very hard to get. It's from the 1940s, but if you can get it, kudos to you. Chances are it's going to be in a really raggedy, low-grade copy, but if it's a rag, I say get it. But I think Aquaman number 1 would be a good book to get as well. Guys, Aquaman number 1, I mean, I don't know what your budget's like, but I think Aquaman number 1 is pretty attainable. I think I had number 10. I think I found it for like $5 in a bin. It was like a VG Plus copy, but I mean, come on. Aquaman is not that popular. And let's just be honest. I mean, once the Aquaman movie, whether it's good or not, it's going to go down because nobody cares about Aquaman. I'm pretty sure I'll get a thumbs down for that. But let's go to the next one, number 9. This is what I picked out. All right. This is what I picked out for this year. I think that we got that whole mention of the Venom movie last year, kind of toward the end of last year. And then we got a updates that Carnage was going to be in it. Man, when Carnage got mentioned, these books were just flying off eBay. man, people were just scooping these up in all grades and prices. And you could, after the first 48 hours, it was tough to find a Amazing Spider-Man 361 at a reasonable price. I'm thankful that I already had mine, but yo, this was a hot book, and I still think it kind of is, but that's why I put it at number 9 because it's cooled down. And here's why, guys. Here's one of the reasons why I strongly believe that this particular book cooled down. It's not because there's a loss of interest. I think it's because there's so many of them out there. Think about this. When Rob Liefeld kept pushing people to buy the second appearance of Deadpool, people were buying it and people were selling it. People were selling it and people were buying it. That book would go for $20 to $25 for an average high for a while. Now you can get X-Force #2, second appearance of Deadpool, for like $5 to $10 because they were printed in the millions, guys. I think X-Force #1 broke all kinds of comic book records. I think it's probably the top 3 or top 5 all-time comic book sales. So what do you think that says about #2? All right. So there's just so many of them out there, and I think that's why this book is really cooled down. There still is a market demand for it, but I think now at this point, people are looking for like the highest grade. So let's just say this: if you're a Spider-Man fan or even a Venom fan, this is a good book to have. So I agree with you, Vernon Johnson. I think we all need it, but it's just one of those books that I think should be in everybody's collection. Captain Jenks says never sold it, probably missed the high end of selling it, but held on to it. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's a book you like, hold on to it. I mean, if there's a guy who I watch, what's his name? Arkham City Comics. He loves those zombie books, and he bought Walking Dead #1 off the shelf when it came out. And even though he could easily have gotten $2,000 for his book, he kept it because like he just likes that stuff. So absolutely. There you go. Nerd Vision's right, man. He says he bought his 361 for $20, and now it's worth about 60 to 70. That's cool, man. If it's still worth 67 today, actually, yeah, it should still be easily worth 60 to 70 today. So there you go, man. I mean, Carnage will never trump Venom, but Carnage is definitely, I think, what everybody wanted Venom to be, that murderous psychopath. All right, number 7. Fantastic Four #52. I think we all know what this is. This is the first appearance of the Black Panther. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I had this at number 8, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be somebody that's not going to like me because of this, or they're going to disagree with me or whatever. Guys, let's be honest. Nobody cared about Black Panther until he showed up in, was it Civil War? And nobody gave a rat's booty about the Black Panther. All right. But all of a sudden he's in Civil War. He's got a movie coming out. He's going to be Infinity War. Now everybody wants it. So it's a stupid, hot book. If somebody gave me that book, would I take it? Yes. If I could find it for an affordable price, would I buy it? Yes. It's a book. It's a first appearance of a major character, but I don't think it's a character that can hold his own in a series comic book wise for a very long time. He just always went well with in the Fantastic Four, Avengers, and other comic books. So now another reason why this is number 8 is because, guys, when this movie is done, Black Panther could be hot. They could put out a second one, a third one. But I just think that when it's all said and done, this book is really going to drop. Is it going to drop as much as it was before he showed up in the MCU? Probably not. There's going to be some kind of sustainability there, and it's going to plateau, I think, a little bit. at a steady stream of demand, but it's going to go down, guys. You already saw it in NYX #3. You're seeing it in The Walking Dead #1 as viewership is kind of dropping a little bit. It's going to drop, but it's still a top 10 book that I think ought to be gotten for 2018. Nerd Vision, I just think these are the top 10 books to get for 2018, man. That's it. I mean, it's already kind of hot. If Black Panther just blows everybody away, which it probably will. My wife and I are super excited to go see this movie. And I got to be honest, I haven't been this excited since Thor Ragnarok, and I'm not a fan of either one. It's just the expectation is so high because of how good Marvel's putting out these movies that we want to go see it. So I just think that this is just a top 10 book to get for this year because of the movie. And you also got Infinity War right after, and then they're probably going to have him in the, because I think Infinity War is 2 movies, right? I don't think it's all going to be done in one movie, if I'm not mistaken. So no, it's just a top 10. What up, JLS? JLS in the house. JLS Comics. Again, shout out to everybody who's watching. I really appreciate it. Freestyle Friday, episode 1. We're just kicking it, man. Talking noise, talking comics, and getting on to number 7 for the top 10 books of 2018. New Mutants 87. Yes, we all know what this book is. This book went up like crazy after the end of Deadpool and that end credit scene where he's like, don't worry, in the second one, we're gonna have Cable. People just went crazy. As a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to get a CGC 9.6 for $100 like 3 years ago, and I did not get it because I refused to have certain slabs in my collection. Certain slabs, not all slabs, but certain slabs in my collection unless they're a 9.8. And this was the one of them that I really regret getting because even at a 9.6, it's about a $260 to $285 book all day. But he's going to be in Deadpool, which got bumped up 3 weeks, I think, according to what Jesse was saying last night over at JLS Comics. Deadpool 2 got bumped up like a few weeks, and we are going to see Cable. Will Josh Brolin pull it off? Time will tell. I don't think he's a good selection for the character, but I'm not the one being paid millions of dollars to make these movies. So, but we're going to get Cable. And I think that this is a hot book to get for 2018. Cable has always been a kind of a staple character in the X-Men universe. Not so much the New Mutants, but the X-Men / X-Force universe. There's some fantastic storylines out there with Cable, and I think that this is a book to have. A lot of people do not realize that when you collected books in the 90s, there was almost a non-existent or very little attention was given to Deadpool. Cable was the man. All right. Everybody went crazy for Cable. Cable had so much hype behind him, similar to how Wolverine and Venom did in the 90s. You're not seeing that now because Deadpool pretty much took the cake, but his popularity could continue to rise, and I think it's going to be a good year for Cable. I think that this is definitely a book to have if you don't have it. It's still pretty attainable. It's not ridiculously expensive. I know some people will go to the gold cover as an alternative, but I think that this is a book that you can still get and put in your collection. There's been so many homages and cover swipes of it that there's people, it's easily recognizable and people know what this book is. So once sellers and dealers get a hold of it, they price it accordingly. So, but still, if you can get this book, guys, grab this book, man. I'm telling you. I'm getting, you guys are kind of getting away from me a little bit with the chat. I want to see what you guys are talking about. Captain Jank says nobody's so true, but how? But now all of a sudden he's getting hot. Yep. Joseph Stoner says Speedball would have the same desire as Black Panther if he would show it. You're probably right, man. You're probably right, Speedball. Nervous as FF52 got hot and all of a sudden jungle action blew up. Let me see real quick. Vernon Johnson, don't we all? He says he's got a 9.6, need a 9.8. 9.8s for everybody. How about that? Rag's in the house. What's up, Rag? Rag was texting me before the show. What's up, bro? Yes, man. Everybody needs some 9.8 in their life, man. Let's get it this year. Let's do this 9.8 for 2018. How about that? You know, Nerd Vision, I'm missing number 98 too. I got the True Believers, but I'm just not down for paying the kind of money that people are asking for that Deadpool, that New Mutants 98, man. I will hold out. I'm probably one of the most patient people you ever come across when it comes to buying books. Yeah, Vernon Johnson. Yep. Deadpool got pushed back. All right. Let's see. If Legend's going to be on in 2 hours, I'll probably be off by then. But appreciate the congrats, Rag, on the Giant size. Appreciate that, man. It was definitely one of my top 10, top books, top 3, top 5, whatever, for 2018. Joseph Stoner, man, you got to send him for press, man. Look, it's not doing anything. Just sit in your house. If you want to get something done, something press, man, you got to get on it. You got to get on and get that ball rolling. All right, let's go to number 6. Number 6, ASM number 300. I probably should have had this a little higher, but I think it's good where it's at. I got it where it's at because ASM 300s are always hot. They're always hot. There's always a demand for it. One of the things I have noticed, though, looking at GPA and looking at eBay sales and stuff like that, when the Venom movie announcement was made, this book went crazy. Okay. And even still now, slabs at 9.4, 9.6, 9.8 are just selling at record levels right now, guys. This is definitely the time to sell if you have this book. Do not wait. I'm telling you guys, do not wait until this movie is released. If you have a copy that you want to sell, you need to sell it. Look at what's been going on ever since Spider-Man 3 came out. That was like 10, 11 years ago. That was the last time this book went up. The movie flopped. The book went down. It didn't go down too much. It kind of hit a plateau. It hit a steady market level of demand. But this book is at an all-time high. Now, the only other time that I could see this book peaking at even higher record sales is if another 10 years they decide to do another Venom movie. Then everybody's going to be, getting all hyped up and going out and buying it, spending more than what it's worth and all that other stuff. So, but anyways, that's partly why I got this book down to number 6, because the hype has gone down a little bit. And I think a lot of it has to do with not necessarily the hype. I apologize, but there's so many of them out there, similar to what I was saying about the ASM 361 first appearance of Carnage. There's just so many ASM 300s out there that they have started to sell now. 9.4 copies started to sell about 260, 240, 300. When before they were selling like 400, 450. I raffled one off. It was a 9.4, 9.6 for 500. It was raw. All right. But it's definitely leveled out a little bit. But I still think it's a top 10 book to have for 2018. First, Venom movie is quite a ways out. as we get some trailer footage. Oh God, best believe once that first trailer drops, man, people are going to start going crazy on eBay again, buying this book up. So definitely the time to sell. Definitely a hot book for 2018. So that's just me. All right, so we've got on through the first 5. Let's go ahead and go to the bottom 5 books. Captain Jenks, we all need. Hey, I got 2 of them, Captain Jenks, and I need another one. Yeah, Vernon Johnson. It was crazy, man. Yeah, 2,500 for 9.8 all day, man. You're right about that. Get your 300, Joseph Stoner. Get your 300. Get it. I'm so. Oh, you're a big Spider-Man fan? Hey, I'm a big Spider-Man fan too, Captain Jenks. Yeah, that 301 is a hard one to get in 9.8. That's for sure. Joseph Stoner says he got his. He's getting his 300 this year after he gets his wife new cabinets and countertops. Hey man, hey, happy wife, happy life. There's something that goes with that saying. All right, I'm telling you, man. You put your wife first. All right, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Rag wants a quick recap. Number 10, I thought was Fun Comics. First appearance of Aquaman or Aquaman #1. The Fun Comics is just hard to get, man. It's from the 1940s. I think it's 1941. Number 9, I had ASM 361 First Carnage. Number 8, I had Fantastic Four. Number 52, First Black Panther. Number 7, I had New Mutants 87, first appearance of Cable. And of course, ASM number 300 at number 6. Number 5, Daredevil #1. Now, the Netflix series has been great. Okay, it's been really, really good. I'm not a huge Daredevil fan. I have to. It's kind of like pulling teeth to me to get through the whole series, but I finally got through season 2. It got much better the second half as Kingpin and the Punisher became involved, and it actually made me like the character and the series a little bit more. But Daredevil #1 is definitely a hot book in my opinion. I also think that we're getting season 3 in 2018, which is all the more reason to be grabbing this book. I was blessed and fortunate enough to get a copy of #1. It's a complete rag. It's like a 0.5, 1.0. And I completed a run of 1 through 10. I'm gonna press them, clean them, and either sell them as a run or slab them and sell them as a run. But God has blessed me, and I was able to get one, and I'm very grateful and thankful for it. But it's definitely a book that I think that everybody needs. Not everybody. I mean, you got to be a Daredevil fan to want this book. Justin, EXILESTATE Comics, he's a huge Daredevil fan, and I know he'd love to have this book. And so somebody like him would definitely need to get this book. But it's definitely a top 10 book, in my opinion, for 2018. I mean, come on. It's Daredevil season 3 from Netflix coming this year. So you got the opportunity to get it, man. Let's just say this. Here's one of the things I noticed about this book. When it comes to keys, I mean, you're talking #1 from the Silver Age, from the 60s. This is still a pretty affordable book to get. I mean, I don't know what GPA is, but if I'm not mistaken, I think 3.0s to 5.0s are like 1,800 to 2,500, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I mean, if you put your mind to it, you sell some books, you save a little bit, you can get this book if you really want it. I mean, let's just be honest, guys. If you put your mind to it and there's something you really, really want, you can get it. I mean, don't go maxing out your credit cards or nothing like that, but you can get what you want if you have the discipline to save and to sell some stuff. I mean, y'all know me, man. I'm not about these variants and these new modern books, and I'm about keys, Silver Age keys, books that I know are not going to depreciate in value a whole lot. I guess after the movies and Netflix series end, but I'm just saying you can get it done if you want to get it done. Okay, so that's my number 5. Let's go ahead and go on, move to number 4. Let me see what's going on in the chat real quick. I want to appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you so much. Kind of going through my top 10 books that I think are for 2018. Cosmo Butt. Cosmo Butt asks, are Mirage comics worth anything? I got a Donatello, the Brain Thief #1. That's a book, man, that's probably like, it's worth as much as what somebody's going to pay for it. Any of those Mirage books need to be in high grade, in my opinion, and probably in a run. There are people looking for those early TMNT books, me for one, but I'm going to look for them, and I'm going to try to get them as cheap as possible, because at my LCS here, people just don't really care about TMNT unless it's like number 1 through 4, and they're all in like really high grade or slabbed, and they all got to be first print. So, but I'm a TMNT fan, so they're worth something to me. Daredevil #1 is still undervalued. Pretty sure the cheapest nerd. Yeah, Nerd Vision, I think you're right about that, man. I think Daredevil #1 is undervalued. I mean, my God, there's so many cool characters. You got Elektra, you got Bullseye, Kingpin has always been associated with Daredevil for such a long time. Yeah, I think he is undervalued too. There's been some pretty good storylines as well. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe on the small screen, Netflix is where he needs to be. Maybe Netflix will continue to do this character justice, driving up interest and maybe driving up the market a little bit. Joseph Stoner said he almost pulled the trigger on a #1 DD for $550. He thought it was too much. I don't know, man. Check out GPA. Check out GPA. Speaking of which, something I decided to go ahead and do, since I have not doing GPA Saturdays anymore. If you guys hit me up anywhere, whether it be Instagram, whether it be YouTube, and you have a book that you want me to look up on GPA, hit me up. Don't hit me up in the chat because I'm going to forget. Hit me up after and on Instagram or in the comment section here on YouTube, because I have a year subscription to GPA, and what I would like to do is take a picture of a screenshot of whatever book you want from GPA and the book and post it on Instagram. Leave me your Instagram name. If you don't have an Instagram, get one. If you don't have one, you don't want to get one, I'm still going to post it on Instagram and tell you where to go to look at it. But I kind of want to keep that whole tradition of GPA Saturday going, because people liked it. I liked it. But it just really took away from family time. So that's why we're doing Freestyle Fridays. So, but hit me up on Instagram or here in the comment section, and I'll look up a book for you, give a screenshot. Ask me what the particular grade is that you want. If you just say, hey, look up a Daredevil #1, I'm not going to do it. You need to ask me what grade you want me to look that book up in. Be specific. If you need multiple grades, ask me for multiple grades to look up. I'll do that. But guys, please don't just say look up Daredevil #1, because you have grades 0.5 through 10. Okay, and I'm not going to look up each one. Okay, so just kind of putting that out there, because I wanted to mention it earlier, but I forgot to. Justin, I hope you get it, bro. I hope you get it, man. Yeah, maybe Justin will get his Daredevil #1. All right, I can see I'm behind, so I apologize. Let's go ahead and move on. Number 4, I think this is a book to have. And I think it's in a good spot at number 4. First appearance of the Punisher. Yo, we all know what this is. This book has soared. Okay, this book, in my opinion, is kind of getting up there with the Werewolf by Night number 32, the Incredible Hulk 181, the Giant Size X-Men number 1. I mean, this book is really climbing, and man, that Punisher series was awesome. It was brutal, as well as like the end of Daredevil. Man, it was just getting brutal. I'm like, dang, man, it's like it's like almost watching The Walking Dead, man. There's so much blood and gore. Vernon Johnson says it's too hot. It might be, man. You might burn your hands trying to get you one, but it's still a top 10 book for 2018, in my opinion, guys. I really, really think it is. Yeah, it's even in low grade. Let's just say this. One of the things I've known about this book is it's about $100 per grade. So if you want a 4.0, expect to pay about 400, 5.0, 500, 6, 7, so on and so forth. Now, obviously, I think when you get into like the 8.5, 9.0, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, then you're going to go above and beyond of what you probably want to pay for that book. But it's such a high grade. It's just the market's just going to demand that much. But, you know, in the mid grade, you can expect to pay about $100 per grade. Okay. But hey, it's still a book to get. The series was great. The character ain't going nowhere. And I think it's just a hot book. So number 3. I don't know if I should have had this at number 3. And I don't know. Nerd Vision. Joseph Stoner says he paid $500 for 5.0 all day. Yeah, I guess. I mean, have they gone up more than that, Joseph Stoner? I don't know. I got to check GPA. Nerd Vision, though, I don't know, man. Maybe, but he's definitely getting up there, man. But the thing is like outside of the Netflix series, I don't know, man. How many people really cared for Daredevil? I mean, the Punisher. I mean, he had so many series, so many number ones, and I don't know. I think he's kind of like a Venom or a Moon Knight. He kind of had his little, or Ghost Rider kind of had his cult following. Yeah, Justin, I think that this is going to be a big book, and a couple of reasons why. Marvel and Disney has built this character up so much over the past 10 years that even after the movies are all said and done, I think this book will go down, but I don't think it's going to go down a whole lot. It's definitely not going to go down to what it was before any kind of movie announcement, but it's a major player. This is one of those villains that once the movie's done ain't going anywhere. Okay, that's just my opinion. And if the whole Infinity movies are going to be 2 movies to kind of complete and end everything, this book is going to be strong going from 2018 to 2019. Okay, that's just my opinion, though. Rag says he's got it, gonna grade it. Make sure you get it pressed, Rag. Get it pressed first, man. J Rod Ham in the house. What's up, man? Rack Attack Comics. What's up? Thanks, man. I appreciate you enjoying the show. Oh yeah, good point. Nerd Vision says that it has the first appearance of Drax. I didn't know that. Good point. First appearance of Drax. Good to know. So that's number 3. Now let's get into the top 2. Let's get into the top 2. Number 2. Yep, you see it. You see it. We talked about this earlier. It ain't going nowhere. Here's a couple reasons why I put this at number 2. Number 1, even though the book has gone down a little bit, there's one of the reasons is because there's so many of them printed. People asked for more Deadpool, according to what Rob Liefeld says, once he released this character in the New Mutants number 98. And he was typically putting Deadpool in every other issue after that, once they got into X-Force. As a matter of fact, he said that the editors and people from Marvel were coming to him wanting him to put in Deadpool in issue number 100, but Liefeld had already finished the book and it was already headed to the printing press, I guess, or whatever. So they had to kind of do without. But once Deadpool number 2 comes, and isn't that funny how Deadpool number 2 and it's at number 2? Once Deadpool number 2 comes out, if it's a hit, I mean, typically these sequels kind of take a dip from the original, but if it is a hit, which we all hope and think that it's going to be, there's going to be a strong demand for this book again. Okay. So it's definitely a top 10 in my opinion. If you don't have this book, get it. I'm to the point now where I'm probably just gonna buy a raw copy, if I can get at a decent price. But I am not paying what shops and dealers are asking for this book. There's no way in heaven or earth that I'm paying. But I mean, you're talking about Ryan Reynolds, you're talking about Cable. This is going to be a hot book. Oh, and you also got Domino, even though this, I guess, isn't the first appearance of Domino, even though she's on the cover and in the story, and that's supposed to be not her. You know, this is just a hot book, guys. It's been a hot book ever since X-Men Origins Wolverine, and it's just continuing to be a hot book. So if you can get it, get it. If not, wait, whatever. But this book, in my opinion, ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I think that Ryan Reynolds is committed to Deadpool, and even, I mean, Deadpool would have to really bomb for them not to be planning a part 3 or an X-Force movie. Okay, we all know X-Force is coming, probably Deadpool 3 or both. So this book ain't going nowhere. Get this book if you can, okay? Get this book if you can. Vernon's got a 9.8. Kudos for you, man. Jeez. He's finally having Justin. Yeah, Justin did get a New Mutants 98. I forgot about that. Joseph Storner says all these books I'm getting here lately, I actually held a first Thanos and 2 gun-shy to get it. Yeah. Thanos, first appearance of Thanos is a book I would get once he leaves the MCU. Once they kill him or imprison him or whatever they're going to do to him, that's a book I would just wait to get. Oh, Nerve Vision, that goes without saying. I'm always looking for a book that's got wrinkles that I can press out. You know that, man. You know that. Yep. Captain James, Ryan Reynolds, Cash Cows, Deadpool. You're absolutely right. All right. So before I get on to the number 1, a couple of things I want to say. Number 1, I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But I've talked to people, I've talked to ETA Nick and other people. And from the speaking with him for about 30 to 45 minutes and just taking on all the knowledge that ETA Nick has to offer, I think that I agree with him. So this is going to be the reason why I have this book at number 1. Even though they probably won't be in a movie, they might be mentioned in a movie in 2018, I still think it's a hot book to have for 2018. My number 1 book that I think needs to be gotten for 2018. Can anybody guess? No, not Infinity Gauntlet. No way. Heck no. Nah. After seeing all these books, Infinity Gauntlet? I'm going to wait a second, see if anybody can guess. If anybody knows me, knows what I'm about to say. I know there's lag and everything, but I'm just going to go on. I'm going to go on. Here it is. Fantastic Four, #1. Nope, not a whole. You know, yes, Rag. Yes. He's like FF something. You are absolutely right, brother. Vernon Johnson, you're right, man. But the reason why I didn't have Hulk 181 is because there's not going to be any Wolverine movies out. We're not going to see Hugh Jackman or Wolverine in any movies that I know of anytime soon. They may throw him in, like do a cameo or something like how he did in was it X-Men Apocalypse? But the thing about Hulk 181 is Hulk 181 is always hot. That's just kind of like that kind of goes without saying. You know, that's like something that everybody would expect to be in the top 10 because everybody wants it. So that's the reason why I didn't put Hulk 181. But yeah. Yeah, Rag, nope, yep. Joseph Stoner, yep. And here's why. A lot of people are speculating. Oh man, this is such a good discussion. A lot of people are speculating that for the MCU phase 4, all right, is going to be the Fantastic Four. And here's one thing about it. Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, man. Was it the Marvel 2-in-1 that Marvel put out a couple weeks ago? It was, what was it, like The Thing and Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. When I seen that, I'm like, where did that come from? Who in the world is thinking about Thing and Human Torch? But it came out. We had this whole deal of Disney buying properties from Fox Studios for like $60 billion. Over 60. Yeah, I said 60 billion. $60 billion. All right. Guys, I'm telling you, man, I really think that the Fantastic Four are going to be done right. And I think that they're going to show up probably at the end of one of these Infinity movies. And once they do, people are going to go bat crap. This book already, let's just say this, guys. What I was looking for this book, I was just kind of looking on GPA. A 2.0. All right, you're talking about like a rag. A 2.0. $4 grand. $4 grand for a 2.0. Yeah, Captain Jenks. He says a huge sleeper book. If this thing gets to the movies, it goes bonkers. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Justin. Justin said, yeah, it was the Marvel 2-in-1, and he says it was good. Guys, I'm telling you, man, I think this book is going to be the top 10 book to get. Now, I know it's probably out of a lot of people's reach. It's definitely out of mine. Even if I had $4 grand to pull the trigger on a 2.0, I don't know if I'd do it all on my own. I'd probably get an investor to go in on it with me, because one of the things I have seen in this book, even without any movie announcement, is I think that this book, even in a 2.0, I have to check other grades. Obviously, it's going to be different on different grades, but even in a 2.0, I think this book averaged about a $400 a year increase. $400 a year. And here's why. Every time one comes up, people always pay more than what it's worth. And then when that same book gets listed, people always pay more than what it's worth again, because these books are so rare to get that, and people want them, that they just constantly every year drive the value of this book up, because of the market demand, and the availability just isn't there. So telling you. You heard it here first at Strictly Comics Freestyle Fridays. All right. Probably Nerd Vision, probably FF #5 probably will increase. But guys, we've gotten to the top 10. I want to give some honorable mentions. So let me go ahead and give some honorable mentions. Books that I think should still probably be gotten, but none that I thought should be in the top 10. The first one is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. I know a lot of people have their opinions about this book, and I think a lot of people didn't really care too much about the Netflix series when it came out because it took a dive. It took quite a dive shortly after the series. But Netflix has announced Luke Cage season 2 is coming out this year, 2018. If they do a much better job, you could see the demand for this book go up. Now, I think it's a good book to have just because the first appearance is a key issue. But I think honorable mention ought to go to Luke Cage, Hero for Hire #1. Okay, that's just my opinion. Congratulations, Captain Jenks. He says he has this book. I'd love to have this book. I had the opportunity to get this book, but I just didn't want to pay what my LCS was asking for it. The next book, Amazing Spider-Man 101, First Morbius. I put this book in here because we got an announcement that they were going to be working on a Morbius movie. What is that going to look like? I have no idea. But if you do a Morbius movie, you better be putting Blade in there. Blade, Ghost Rider, both, one of the two. I don't know. But if you're going to go the Morbius route, Morbius ain't going to, come on, man, let's keep it real. Morbius ain't going to hold a movie on his own. Unless he just surprises us, kind of like how Guardians of the Galaxy did. But I don't see Morbius, man, holding his own on the big screen. I just can't see it. Yeah, JLS. And that's actually JLS. That's the other reason why I put this book in there, is because this book has just gone up so much once there was a movie announcement that it hasn't really gone down too much since. But I mean, come on, guys, this is a book everybody should have. If you are a Spider-Man fan, or you are a Midnight Suns fan, or a Morbius fan, Moon Knight fan, this is a book you need in your collection. Okay. So yeah, definitely an honorable mention for 2018. The next book, Nerd Vision, should, you know what? You're right about that, but you know, I didn't even think about that. And hey, I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. This is just what I got off the top of my head after going through future movie releases that come out this year. This is just what I thought should be the top 10 or honorable mention for 2018. So yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely, and you know what, Nerd Vision, I don't have a picture of it, but he's right. Honorable mention ought to go to Fantastic Four. What is it? 66 and 67. And all those other early first appearances of Adam Warlock. So you're absolutely right about that, Nerd Vision. I agree. But the other two that I got to show, this is the next one. Fantastic Four #49. This is the first full appearance of Galactus, first cover appearance of Silver Surfer, and second appearance of the Silver Surfer. Okay. And I think that kind of goes without saying. This is all just, again, guys, this is speculation. But even still, you should, if you have the opportunity to get this book, you should get it. Okay. These are major keys, major players in the comic book world. And since I showed that one, I might as well show this one. This was the final one that I thought should honorable mention should be given to Fantastic Four #48. You get what, three? I think this is the first appearance of the Watcher, first appearance of Silver Surfer, and first appearance of Galactus in a cameo, if I'm not mistaken. Man, guys, this book is just getting so high right now. It's just getting so high. If you have the opportunity to get this book, because again, this is just purely speculation. But if they put Fantastic Four in a movie, almost every character, villain, you know, B-list characters, C-list character, D-list, whatever. And the Fantastic Four universe ought to be something that everybody ought to be getting, because you never know what's going to happen with those characters, how they're going to use them, what they're going to do with them, and so on and so forth. So that's why I put it in there, and that's all that I got. That's all that I got. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. Yeah, Iron Galactus, Ms. Marvel #1. I thought about putting that in there. But I'm real critical on female characters because you know, just female characters are just not usually that strong. And being how comic book readers are 85% male, most guys want to see other guys, you know, big guys, strong guys, muscle guys, monster guys. You know, you want to see women, but you typically want to see them as kind of like the damsel in distress for the most part. Now, I know not everybody's the same, and you're going to have people who are really big on, as a matter of fact, Jesse's one of them. Jesse's really big on female characters, but I'm not. And I think most comic book readers and collectors are not. But I think Wonder Woman was kind of an exception. I don't know if Captain Marvel is in the hands of Disney, then they'll probably do it some good. But you know, it's just, it was just all speculation at this point. I just didn't feel like entering that in. I mean, I'll be honest, I had the first appearance of the Wasp. But again, it's like there's only so many books that you can fit into a top 10. Now, as far as honorable mentions, I could probably add 10 books to an honorable mention, but I didn't want to add that many. I just wanted to add just a handful of what I thought are books that people should get. FF48 is way more valuable, and CGC recognized as the first appearance of both characters. Good to know. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that, Iron Galactus. Nice. Don't sleep on the Teen Titans. Yeah, well, Teen Titans #1 or Teen Titans first Deathstroke. We'll see, Rag. I just, I don't see. I mean, yeah, you might come up with a Villains League or Villain Society, but I just have a hard time seeing what those characters are going to do against characters like Superman and Wonder Woman and yeah, and even Batman, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. Captain Jenks says, how about doing an episode of top 90s books that are cheap that we should pick up now while they're cheap? I don't know, man. Oh, Nerd Vision says FF13 he thinks is the first watcher. I'll have to check on that. I don't know. He's probably right. I always thought this was, but yeah, Captain Jenks, man, maybe. Yeah, it would be a good idea, Vernon. It would be a good idea. Joseph says, is DC going to do anything with Slade Wilson like a Batman? Maybe. I don't know. Top 90s books, man. That's a good idea. How about this? How about in the comment section? Let's do this. Just, we'll just kind of, kick it started a little bit. In the comment section, not in the chat, because I'm getting ready to end this, but in the comment section or on Instagram, let me know what you think some of the top books of the 90s ought to be. That'd be a good one. That'd be a really good one. Yeah, definitely. So, all right, let me go ahead and stop sharing. Wow, guys. Hey, it was tons of fun, man. Thank you so much for checking me out for Freestyle Friday episode 1, man. It was really, really cool. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for everybody for watching. Yeah, man. Golly, this was fun. So, all right. So, hey, check me out next Friday. We'll do it again, right? Bring your pizza, get your Mountain Dew, swing on by. We'll do Freestyle Friday, episode number 2 next week, everybody. Okay. Everybody have a great weekend. Happy hunting. God bless you all. Keep God first in your life. Enjoy your comic books. All right. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you on social media. God bless everyone. Bye.